Hey everybody, this is Darkars, and we're back with another video on the tank game here. So we're going to get back into working. We don't really have a specific goal of what we're going to do for this video, so there is no outset of like, hey, we want to work on the tile map, or hey, we want to work on this level or that level. For the moment, we're just going to go through and just kind of check up on things and fix what we can find and kind of just do some general work. If you don't really care to watch that, you feel free to skip through this video. If you want to see kind of what goes on between videos, things that actually just get polished and everything else, then feel free to watch. Anyways, a few things I do need to cover. I actually have worked on the AIs a bit more, so I can show this off real quick. So previous video I was showing that I didn't get the AIs to quite ray trace properly. So if we actually go into ray trace, what was happening is it would ray trace. It would hit the back of another unit and it would stop. So now we can see that it is actually tracing that yellow line all the way through, and then actually hitting this wall over here. And if I actually drive the player forward, which I'm going to have to go in the game view to do this, we can actually see that they are actually shooting, ray tracing through each other and shooting through each other. Now, of course, this is an arcade game, so I actually do want the AIs to shoot through each other. I'm not sure why that one just stopped shooting for some reason. Let's actually click him and move him. He just like completely died. Weird. It seems I was talking about working on these guys, and this one just was like, derp, I don't really know what I'm doing anymore. Let's check in. So he's currently entity, mob script's looking good. Point handler is none, current objective, it's targeting the player. We're seeing like literally nothing render right now, so we would see a white line to tell we have a target, a yellow line to say that we had hit something. Oh, you know what happened? The tank just barely got out of range. So let's do this real quick. So now we're in range, and we'll put him right in front of there. We can see everything's working, so it's no longer ray tracing on the bullets, which is really nice because it's something I really wanted to fix. I wouldn't have minded too much if they ray traced and hit each other and would go like, hey, I'm not shooting through an ally. But the big thing is they were ray tracing, hitting each other's bullets and wouldn't fire, which was really, really bad. But that's now working, so we can actually move them around, and they're doing a really good job now. That's one of the many things I wanted to get fixed that I got fixed. It was a really simple change. Effectively what I went through is that I actually reverted back to doing a ray trace mask. I got rid of all that advanced logic where we were trying to figure out what our collider layer was, what things we can collide with. It wasn't working, so we just got a mask, and in the mask we just define what we want to shoot. So I have to come down here to each gun individually, and I have to come down here and go, hey, I want to shoot players, I want to shoot maps. And that's how we basically have to do it now. So that means anytime in the future, if I add another map layer or something, I add something that's going to change the behavior of how things work, then I'm going to have to mess with that. Why these guys just stopped behaving all of a sudden? Weird. Oh, there we go. He's shooting now. I must have moved the tank and I didn't realize it. We actually need to get these guys actually doing damage now, would be a thing we could work on. We got this. Okay, he's shooting now too, and we can use him to push with. Yeah, it's working. Cool. Oh yeah, because it's slightly pushing. So that's one thing. I don't know if I should really keep the bullets doing pushing physics. I like the fact it does it. It's really cool. It just means if you're starting to get overwhelmed with fire, you actually have a recoil. Recoil is another thing we could work on. There's local avoidance we still need to do. So we actually need to make sure AIs don't run into each other. We need to make sure AIs avoid the player. Because we want them to come up to the player, but we don't want them to like facepalm the player. That one actually wouldn't be that hard to do. We are going to have to rewrite the Seeker, I think. I'm not sure how to go about that though, because I really wish the Seeker actually just had something in here that would go like, hey, I'm not supposed to be this close. The AI Pathfinder is supposed to have one. You got a slowdown distance. Let's turn the Pathfinder back on. When I need to apply this to make sure this is actually set over everything. So we'll do that. I want to see how this guy's pass. Take a look at this and just kind of toy with it. Yeah, they're still pathing kind of crappy. I mean, at least they can find the player, so this is what I'm kind of happy about, is they know how to get to the player. They know how to move through areas. They're not avoiding objects, but then again, these are entities. This is where I was talking about any local avoidance, so you don't understand that they're colliding with stuff. This is really, I just got a prefab package out for pathfinding, and I haven't really applied any settings. But so they get to that distance. So let's see. Slow down distance doesn't seem to do anything, because I mean, if we had a slow down distance of 0.8, we should have actually slowed down before hitting the target. Always draw gizmo. When close to destination, you can stop and go exactly, but you can't actually... I hope I don't have to recode that pathing script. Because what we want to do ideally, if we wanted to work on this and actually get this really fleshed out, is we would create a pathing script that would pick a point nearby a player. So if this was our player right here, instead of going right up next to the player, say we wanted to shoot the player, we'd go, okay, let's path, let's find a point, and we'll say we pick this point right here to move to. So we come through here, move to here, and start shooting at the player when we get to here, because then we're a decent distance from the player, we're not blocking a doorway. I don't know how we're going to even tell the AI not to block doorways. We would like the AI to go into cover to some extent. Not that cover is going to probably be a thing in this game, but you'd want some kind of concept about utilizing structures and stuff to block things. So like, for example, we had an AI, we could have him move back here, pop out, shoot, move back. That may be too much for the game. Especially considering we only have another month and a half to work on this. 2 months if we stretch it. We for sure don't want him to go right up to the target. We could implement a very simple distance check, and if we're within a certain distance, just shut the seeker off. Or shut the pather off, because I think the seeker... It has to be something important to figure out. What does the seeker do, and what does the pather do? One of these, I think, does the pathing, one does the movement. I think the pather is what moves, I think the seeker is what actually makes our paths for us. Can we edit this script? Yeah, we can. So we can actually dig down and actually look through their code and see what's up. And they actually have it really well documented. I'm happy about this. What can we customize in here? I mean, I don't really want to change this script, but I just kind of want to see what we can do. We can register modifiers. iPath modifier. Maybe that would be a way to go about this. I really just don't know enough about how the Pathfinder works. On path complete. Okay. Get new path, start path, start path, start path, more start paths. So it looks like the Seeker's entire job is just to make paths. So we don't really want to mess with him then, if that's what he does. Because if our entire thing is just to do pathing for this thing, we don't want to mess with it then. Because there is no need to. He functions. You give him a path coordinate and he goes to the path. Our AI pather, for the most part, does exactly what it's supposed to do too. It just goes to whatever path you want to. So it actually just moves our unity. So what it really does come down to is it really is our set path to target script. So this is a script I made, and what this entirely is job to do is to pick up, basically assign my point to the tank. Now what if I could figure out a way to tell it to pick a point near the player that is advisable? I can't think of how to do that on the top of my head. You think it would sound simple because you think you would just go, okay, pick a random point, but what happens when that random point happens to be here? Because that's 3 points away. Say we made our distance check like 3 or 4 meters away. Actually, I'm gonna pull paint out just to explain this. It is so much easier when you got some tool to paint with. I wish I had like a whiteboard software to work with. But say this is our tank, and this is our AI. And say we want to pick a point within so much distance, and we want to pick a point that isn't directly here, because we don't just go up here and then stop. Maybe we want to pick a flanking point. How do you determine? Because you could go, I got a radius here, but now say we had a wall. Maybe you can collision check? But say we didn't just have a wall here, maybe we had another wall here. Maybe we had a wall here. A wall here. How do you determine where the best point is? You can't just go, okay, I'm going to go around until I find a point, because what happens if there was a wall here and you picked this point and it's like, oh yeah, that validates for the distance, that validates for not colliding, but now we're on the other side of a wall. We can't shoot. Do you now check points and then check distance checks? And what if that point was inaccessible? Let's say we couldn't get over there. Say there was a wall here. That validates our thing here, and say this we could shoot over this cover. Say this was just an impassable block. So we could shoot over there. So that validates our shoot check. That validates our distance check. That validates our non-collision check, because then we can't collide there. But now we can't get there. Does that mean we now need a path find at every point? Something actually we could do. It's not unreasonable, but you gotta think, now you're pathing to multiple points. That's not very good to do. Especially if, like, imagine our distance from, like, here to here was like 100 meters. Like, that could be hundreds and hundreds of tiles that we path. Because this uses an A-star pathfinder, which means it's going to do stuff like this. And it's going to go, hey, I can go this way, I can go this way, I can go this way, and then it'll go this way, and what it ends up doing is it goes, okay, this path is, hold on, I can make the quick text. This path right here is 3 points, this path right here is 7 points, this path down here is like 20 points, and it picks the path with the best point value. I wonder if we could mess with the pathing algorithm and just start assigning points, because if we could start assigning points to pass. That may be our best method, because then if we came over here, so we say like that's our desired path, that's another path, that's another path, that's another path, and then we give like this a path like a 20, we give this path a 30, because that's a desired path, we give this a 13, and then we give this like a 22. Just because we want to, we have some kind of check like can see. That's still, we're starting to get into complexity problems. This is the reason why this is actually a very complicated problem. Is pathing is not too big of a deal. I do pathing so often in a lot of the stuff I do, but it's not that hard to do because doing an A-star is pretty simple. You create like a breadth first pathfinder that just goes out again, and it just keeps going out. And then what you do is you connect the nodes as you're going out. You just start connecting them. You start connecting them, and you try to figure out like if this was your destination over here, you try to find paths to get to there, and then you pick the best path. And as soon as you hit that path, and you get like so many hits on that path, you just go with it. You don't try to path everything, because after all, this is a game. You don't need perfect. You need acceptable. So say we never even got to like these paths over here. We only did that stuff over here. You get to that stuff. That's not hard. To actually find your path and give it points is not hard. What starts getting hard is like if we needed to get and decide, okay, can we collide? Actually, collision is not going to be a big deal because our nodes is going to do the collider for us. So we don't actually need to worry about collision check. That's something we didn't need to worry about. The line of sight check becomes a problem because if we have a grid, so say we have grids here, and say these were 4 positions in a row we were checking. So we went from this position to this position to this position to this position. Each time we check the value, and each time we assign a number to it. So we say this takes 0, this takes 1, this takes 2 to get to, this takes 3 to get to. We haven't made it to our destination, of course. Say like our destination was this orange cube, and it was right here. And we finally decide, okay, to get to that cube right there, that's 4 points to get over there. But now if we want to do the ray trace, we would have to ray trace from here to here to here and to here to assign our points. And then we would have to add points to this. So we say, okay, our ray trace is good here, so we don't actually modify anything because we can see the target. We don't modify anything because we can see the target. We don't modify anything because we can see the target from all here. But then if you add like a wall right here, then of course this blue line right here, which I'm going to just overlay with yellow, would hit this line, and then we would have to set a -1. But that part's easy. The complicated part comes into here is now you don't just have 4 tiles. You have hundreds of tiles, and you now need to calculate, can you see from each one of those tiles? Now, of course, somebody who's paying attention to this is going to point out, well, why don't you just pick tiles that you like first, then ray trace to them? It doesn't make the problem any less difficult, because even if you, because effectively we're running into a problem here is big O notation. So if I can do something like this, So we have big O notation. No matter how we look at this, we're going to be doing O in ray traces. So for n being the equal to the number of tiles, or something like that. So we'll have that notation. So it doesn't matter if n is like, so n can end up being like 20, it could end up being 100. It's a time complexity problem. Effectively, we only want to be ray tracing kind of once every time we go to shoot. We don't want to be ray tracing every time we path, because now we path, and we update our path. I think right now the pathfinders are set to update. There is actually something here. Max speed, rotation, endpoint, slowdown distance. There actually should have been something in here. Oh yeah, repath. So we repath every other second, or twice a second. So that's every 500 milliseconds we're going to repath times the number of entities. So you got to imagine you had 100 entities, each having to path. Say they had to path, say they're in a 10 by 10 grid, just by itself, 10 by 10 grid. That's 100 tiles they have to path, potentially, from where they're at. Then you have to ray trace each one of those. You can see how complicated that gets to a certain point. So we're probably not going to do that. I think what we're literally just going to have to do is take the simplest possible approach to this, and then just work our way up to something better. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do is I'm going to borrow an ideal, a simple ideal. Let's just do this and delete. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have our tank, we're going to have our spear, and we're quite literally just going to have the AI run a distance check to here, decide what this distance is to here, and as long as our distance is greater than this circle radius here, we keep pathing, and as soon as we hit that, we stop pathing. Assuming our path length is a certain amount. The reason I say this is, say for example, we had a wall here. Let's actually reverse our lines here. So if we had a wall, and our actual distance check was like this, we obviously are not close to this. Even if there's a wall here, we're not actually close because we can't see the target. So what we'll do is we'll actually calculate the amount of paths we have to get to the target, and then we'll use that as our distance check. Because we'll go, okay, if the distance to the path left is like under 3, then we stop. That should in theory work. Maybe. I'm trying to think of how to get that working actually. Let's see what we can figure out with the code. Yeah, so let's dig through this. I love how I can actually click and edit scripts. It makes my life so easy. I really don't feel like reading all that. As useful as docs are, I don't really want to read them. Acceleration, that's cool. Rotation speed, so we get a lot of stuff. And reach distance. Distance of the endpoint to consider the end of the path to be reached. Is this a variable we actually can mess with? How big is the body of the tank? Okay, I'm gonna test this. So we're gonna, was that mob I was just messing with? Okay, yeah, I want that one. Click apply. So we may have just talked about all this, and this feature might already be built in, and I just didn't notice. Oh, please tell me that actually is the case. Yes? Yes, maybe? Oh, but then we get crappy behavior like this. So we are going to need a better script for this. So let me go ahead, and what I want to do is I want to set this down to something like 4. Oh, we can even see the gizmo. Why did I not notice this? I felt really dumb. But that'll keep collision from happening. So I like this. This will basically keep it from colliding with the player. It still means we're going to run into weird problems, like say for example, we have the AI over here, and they got to right here. It's going to stop pathing because it actually can't see something. So maybe we want to... I think this is why I had to set the 2 the first time. Why does this still collide with the player though? Oh, because you know what it's going to happen? It's going to use the endpoint. So let's set this to 3. And that'll just have to work. It's not going to be a perfect solution. We don't need this game to be like top notch. We do need it to be well beyond acceptable though. So we don't need perfect, but we don't need crap either. Or we don't want crap, that's a better way to say it. But that'll work, because then if we hit right here, it'll stop pathing. So we won't have it run into the player, which is what I don't want happening. Because what it was doing is the AIs were running into the player and then pushing the player around, which we actually do want for the spike mobs. So these little spike guys, I actually do want these to run into the player because they're actually meant to be on the player, pushing him and doing damage. They're meant to swarm you and push you off cliffs, is what theoretically they would be used for, although we don't actually have cliffs, so it's not going to happen. By the way, broken textures. I resaw these textures if you don't notice. I actually had to go through it and redo these guys too because these guys were broken. So that's why these might look a little different if anybody asks. I'm going to actually go and actually make textures for these, because right now we're basically using the cannons are hull plates. So that's the icon you see at the top of here. That's the plate for that. The tread, I have no clue what it is, and I think the body is like a button, like a circular button. When you need test assets, you get creative. So let's figure out a script to make. So he has set path to target. We want this to always be working, because this guy, his entire job is just to make us like set paths. He's there to tell you to set to the target. He's there to set the stuff, everything like that. I still kind of want to set the path near the player rather than on the player, but I'm not sure how to do that. So yeah, we're just going to want to make the AI. Yeah, we're just going to want to turn the path off, I think. Because what I think is we grab this component here and we just turn it on and off as we get to the distance. And that should be a really simple script to make. It's going to be the simplest solution to this I can think of, and then we'll just have to make something better later. So let's create a script, and this is going to be a C# script. This will be I feel like I need to make something more complicated, but it's having one of those conflicts in my brain. I'm gonna call this movement handler because I actually do need a script for something else, and I think I'm just going to use this to control a few other things. I want to actually open up one of these other scripts here. Oh, if Unity didn't decide it wanted to freeze on me right then and there. Yeah, the reason I wanted this is I wanted to actually go grab this, and I actually need to get around to making scripts to auto-find the entity host on the entity, which will involve going up to the parent object until it finds it, which means I do want to make a prefab that replaces mono behavior. We're not going to do that this episode. I actually probably won't even make a video of that one because it's not that hard to do, it's just it's time consuming. I'm trying to think if I need anything from here. I actually do need the ray trace code. This is this is actually what handles the shooting code, and I actually feel like I need to... So what part handles the reload of this? Has target, is target and firing, or should fire... Actually, that's right, we never check reload, we just literally keep spamming the weapon until it fires. I forgot about that. That's like the most simple script ever. But what I'm thinking of actually kind of doing is We don't really care about the weapon arc, but we kind of care about the ray tracing. And I want to pretty much have the AI behave that it's going to continue to path towards the entity until a majority of its weapons can see the player. We don't want just one weapon. We don't want to go like one weapon because then you end up with a situation. If I can grab my little test goon here. Why? No, I need to rotate you. Actually, I'm gonna have to rotate your turn, aren't I? Why are they? I really am interested why they initialized with like this weird rotation. You know what? I'm gonna actually apply this just so that way. Yeah, all the mobs. I hate the apply button sometimes. Okay, so we're gonna turn you 90 degrees. There we go. That gets me my little thing. Why is? Oh, that's the HP gizmo. That's what's happening. So say like we had him here, and this weapon could see him. So he would path to here, and he would stop you, start shooting, and then you're missing a weapon. You want him to keep pathing until he gets about here, so that way both weapons can shoot and fire. That's kind of what you want to do. But of course, we're going to have vehicles that may have tons of weapons, and hopefully we just design our levels properly so we don't have to worry about this. But you would have some with that might have, like, say they had like 6 arms over here that could fire. So a position like this would be okay. But thinking about it, I'm not actually going to code the script to do that, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to we'll create a list. Yeah, we'll create a list of shoot at target scripts. And then we'll do this. We'll make that a public method. We'll make this a public method while we're at it too. And we'll make another method here. Yeah, we'll do something like can hit target. Grab this stuff right here. Return. And we're going to do this as well. So we'll make sure there's a null check there. I think this is acceptable for C#, but I actually don't really know. We'll get that. Move this up here. That simplifies our logic up here, which is kind of nice. It makes it a little cleaner to read. But then, if we wanted to, which I just tried to use Java code there instead of C#, we could run this code if we want to. The only problem about that is we are then stuck with the firing arc, so we have to wait for the body to rotate, which is not... It's not a horrible thing to actually have it stop and then rotate, but maybe we want to have it keep going until it finishes rotating. That way it's not stationary while shooting. We really, to be honest, don't want these guys to be stationary and at any given time, but there are ways to solve that, sort of. I might be overthinking this, really, to be honest. So let's go ahead and we'll keep it simple. We're going to do the shoot at target first, and then I'll play around with the behavior of the AIs at a later date. So we want our shoot at target script, that way we don't have to do anything special. In reality, what we really do need to do is some kind of... there's no easy way to do that. Because we want to make sure the weapons can do this. So we shoot at target. Shoot at target array. So we'll have a list of those. We could collect these off of sub-objects, which would be like the greatest thing ever, because then I wouldn't have to actually program AIs. But maybe we have weapons we don't actually care to control the movement. Maybe there was a state where we don't want to have someone do that. So I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to do this with fixed update, because I really should be doing... This really should be a fixed update too, but I left it as not fixed update just because it doesn't matter. To be honest, firing every frame won't really matter either, so we'll leave it like that. So we have fixed update here. We have our host. We want to do if host, yeah, host.current target doesn't equal null. We want this part because we don't want to mess with the pathing when it's actually working properly. We're going to want our pathing AI script. Let me edit the script. I want to see what it's named. It's called AIPath.cs. It's called AIPath.cs, and then you come down here, public partial class. I think this is the name of the class. I'm actually, this is where we're hitting the point where I'm not that familiar with C#. So let's hope that this is actually our variable. Path movement script. And then what we want to do is we just kind of want to set the component enable and disable. Set active. I think is how you do it. So if we don't have a current target, we want to make sure, no, we actually want to leave this alone. Because if we have an objective, like we're actually moving to an objective point, then we want to actually leave this on. If we don't have a current target, but we have an objective, and we're not actually going to check for objective because there could be anything causing the Pathfinder to want to run. It could be moving towards the last thing it killed, it could be moving toward a last spotted current location of the entity, it could be doing anything. So we want to make sure it stays running as long as we don't have a target. Now if we do have a target, we want to effectively, I don't want to do this per frame, but we kind of have to, and we're going to make a method for this, and we make it private because I don't want to share it. Boolean can weapons target, and this would be for each one of these things. I'm not actually going to try to type this out. I'm a little not there today. Shoot at target. Why did I capitalize that? I like the whole C# capitalization thing is getting to me. Like the methods are capitalized, and then in some cases you capitalize the fields, and I'm so used to Java. Things are lowercase. Return false. No, wait. We want to return true at the end of here, and we want to basically go if shoot at target, and what's the name of the method? We don't want to can't hit target. We want should fire at target. Do we want to rename this method? Yeah, I think we're fine. We don't need anything with it. So we're going to return false if we can't shoot at the target. And then what we're going to do up here is if basically all the weapons can hit the target, we want to disable our Pathfinder. And then the alternative is we want to enable it. And we're not even going to bother checking if it's enabled, we're just going to keep spamming it until whatever. We probably should do like a previous state thing, but I don't think there's any problem with spamming method calls. And if we ever run into a bug where some reason the component got disabled and it wasn't supposed to disable, then this works. Although this could cause other problems, like if, for example, there was a reason why we wanted to disable the pathfinding component. We'll get to that point later. So this should work. Then we just add this to this unit. Oh wait, as components down the bottom. This would be... Oh, I really called that movement handler, didn't I? That needs to be renamed. This needs to be AI movement state. Really long name, but it'll pay off. No. And let me see if that renamed the class. It did not. Because actually I don't think the end name matters what the file's called. I think C doesn't care. I could be wrong about that. I know Java does. AI move state handler. Cool. You are missing unexpected symbol at line 32. I forgot the semicolon, didn't I? Oh yeah, no, this needs to be for each. See, Java doesn't have a difference between for and for each. It's just how you set up the arguments that changes it. That'll compile, and then let's go ahead and see if we can actually add the script while it's still compiling. It's probably gonna, yeah, it's not gonna properly let me do it. AI, nope, it's not going to let me. So line 31, we're missing something. Line 31, unexpected. Expected a bracket at line 31, but we have our semicolons here. Semicolons, semicolons, bracket, bracket. So 31.4. So it's actually it's literally highlighting this thing. It's like it's expecting a. You know, it's probably because it's private. I may be misunderstanding how that works. I need to do reading on C# at some given point in time instead of just purely relying on my understanding of how Java works and applying it to C#. Are you going to compile? Or are you just going to insist that file is still broken? Let's see if I can clear this and reset it. No, it's still, I think it still thinks that it's broken. So it's, even with the private being removed, it expects... I don't understand what I messed up. Maybe I gotta put a space here? I don't think that would matter. Unexpected symbol. Expected. Oh no, it's shoot at target. It's I'm having a dumb day, aren't we? Yeah, we left. I'm thinking it's the script we're working on. No, it's not. Move to target hides inherited member. Rigid body. Good to know. Path AI hides inherited member. A path could not be found. Are you missing the pathing lib? Yeah, probably. No, it's not shoot at target we need to mess with. Maybe it's this one. Imports are weird. I probably should actually get in the habit of using packages for a lot of my stuff. Or whatever these are called. AI path does not contain a set active. Pretty sure AI path is a mono behavior. It's a script. But something I noticed about this, how this works, is this can actually be changed to another script. So I think there's more to this in order to actually select it. So namespace pathfinding. Then we got a partial class, so there's probably an inherit implemented class. Actually, let's do this. Can we actually Unity creating a component build? I want to see if we can actually make a field just that is literally an instance of component. It'd probably be like mono behavior or something. Because what I want to just be able to do is shut off a single component. Maybe disable component via script. Why are you always videos? See, you have to have an instance variable, which is what I was assuming. Is there like a generic way to do this? So let's just try this. Let's try using mono behavior. I probably shouldn't have copied that out of there, but we're gonna do this way anyways. Because like our entire objective is just to turn a script off. So in theory, Let me go find the top of this. This should extend mono behavior at some point. Add component menu, pathfinding AI pathfinding 2D, 3D. That's cool. I should use this more often. What's AI based though? Let's just try it. See if it compiles. Mono behavior does not contain a set active. It's pretty sure if we go up to here, click this, get component. Oh yeah, that's right. It's just enabled. Let's actually undo. I think it's game object is what set active is used for. No, I actually don't want to edit anything in here. I'm gonna close that before I break it. We're gonna take that back to where it's at. Make sure that's still there, and then we're going to change this to enabled and see if it works. Put our extra dot here. Okay, it's compiling. We got nothing but warnings now. One of these points we're gonna have to go through and clean all these warnings up. I'm gonna get rid of them and see if our script works now. When we need to add it. So this is what we call this AI movement state handler. So can we just do that? Yes, we can. So we got our pathing script, which is this guy. And then shoot at target array of weapons. We're going to want to lock this, so when we're dragging, it's not going to break anything. Cancel. I don't want to do that. So we're going to have 2 weapons in here. So we're going to have, not 20, 2. We have 2 weapons. And we want to hit apply, so it saves to both of our little AIs. And let's see how this behaves. Let's see how this works in the scene view. Oh, I just moved his arm. Well, move you that way. See, he's shooting at me, but he isn't pathing. He isn't getting closer. He's just shooting at me. This guy is also not getting closer. This is probably the Pathfinder just broke. That might be that 3 distance Pathfinder. Let's see if I can actually select the other guy. And then I want to mess with your Pathfinder, which actually turned itself off. So it's not that. That script thinks it can shoot, and it probably thinks it can shoot because whatever reason, dumb stuff. He's pathing. That weapon stopped tracing for some reason. He thinks he can shoot, but he's not shooting. There he goes. He's shooting now. Not shooting. Shooting. Not shooting. He's pathing towards the player. Why does he think he can't shoot for? So he shoots right there. He's shooting right here, even though he can hit the wall here. That's actually just a ray trace failure. This is where I need to ray trace from the front of the gun rather than the back. He's getting closer. I like it. He actually is doing exactly what I want him to do. He's trying to follow the player. So I move. We get out of here. Move around the corner. They're slowly trying to path towards me. It's really just, I need that local avoidance. He comes out. As soon as he gets out, he can shoot me. He stops pathing. We actually might want to add a distance check here because we may want to have the AI still move towards me at a certain distance. But look, I mean, they're trying to come up to me, so we achieved our goal, and I call that a good end of this video so we don't get the length too long. But I'll see you guys later with more content updates.